So if you've been following my page since last week, I've been building an app that lets you control ESP devices or pretty much any Wi-Fi device that you want. The app so far can add a home or many locations, and when you click into it, you can add the different types of controls that you want. In this case, here we have a slider. You can also add buttons and scenes. As you can see here, you can have a toggle button. You write your whatever IP address you want there. You name it as toggle, and then you send your endpoint. Now the endpoint needs to be programmed into your ESP32 or ESP8266 or whatever Wi-Fi device you are using. Once you save that, you can give it a color if you want, and it's fully customizable. You can make it, I don't know, red, and then you can change this into, I don't know, it was measuring a drop. I find that pretty funny. The fact that it's red on a drop, that is total coincidence. Now, when you press on in this case, on is going to send this plus whatever this message that you wrote here is. In this case, you don't need to say that it's on. You can just name it, I don't know, garbage, right? And it'll send garbage over there. And if garbage is what turns on the light or whatever it is that is connected to it, that is what it's going to do. Now, before you get to the part where I was there in the code earlier, you're going to go to Google and you're going to type Flutter download. That's going to take you to the Flutter install page. You're going to follow all of these steps that it says here, depending on the device that you're on. If you're on a Mac, then you're going to click on Mac and you're going to follow whatever it tells you. And then if you're on a Windows computer, then you're going to click on Windows and you're just going to follow the instructions. Once you're done with that, you go over to Google again, and here in Google, you're going to download Visual Studio's code. Make sure that you write Visual Studio code and not just Visual Studios, because Visual Studios by itself is a whole suite of things that you can do. So the one that you want is code. Now, the cool thing about Flutter is it allows you to do the code in just one single code, can run on iPhones and on Android devices. However, if you do not have a Mac like I do here, you will only be able to test and run simulations or test it on physical devices for Android devices only. In order for you to do this and test it on your actual iPhone, you're going to need a Mac. And now that you guys have that homework to install all of those things, on the next video, we'll be building this particular circuit in order to test the slider circuit to be sure that it's sending out the correct signals. The slider circuit can also be used for stepper motors, not only dimming LEDs, but you can set the angle of the stepper motor to start, let's say at 90 and go all the way to 180. And that way you can just move maybe a door or something back and forth. But we'll be covering that on the next video, so be sure to subscribe. Peace.